Darkness has weight. It presses against your eyes until blinking feels useless. Breathing becomes the only proof you still exist. Fast, ragged, controlled panic echoing through a concrete coffin 200 feet beneath frozen earth. A metallic click cuts through the darkness. An empty pistol magazine slides free and hits the floor like a judge's gavel. The mission is compromised. The exit is sealed. And somewhere inside this bunker, trust has already died. There are 3 rules in Moscow. Never trust the weather, never trust the radio, and never, ever trust the man standing next to you. The air inside the chamber smells like rusted iron and overheated wiring. Fluorescent lights above flicker like dying stars, stuttering between life and extinction. Captain Marcus Reed presses his back against the cold wall, counting heartbeats instead of seconds. His gloved hand grips a compass, but the needle spins wildly, confused by buried metal and hidden power cables humming through reinforced concrete veins. 5 operators remain alive in this underground labyrinth. 5 shadows wearing American insignia stitched onto uniforms soaked with sweat and melting frost. They came here to steal files, classified research, experimental neuroweapons capable of turning soldiers into programmable weapons. The files sit inside a hardened drive locked inside Reed's chest rig. The objective is complete. Extraction was scheduled 6 minutes ago, but the elevator shaft is sealed from above. Someone locked them in. Sergeant Alvarez crouches beside a reinforced blast door, running trembling fingers across the digital lock panel. His breathing fogs the display screen. His hands shake, not from cold, but from the realization that the security override requires internal clearance. Someone inside the facility issued the lockdown. Someone who knew their infiltration route before they even crossed the border. "Motion sensors cycling," whispers Specialist Liao, her voice barely louder than fabric sliding across steel. Her infrared scanner paints ghostly outlines along corridor walls. Nothing moves. That's worse. Silence here means preparation. Russian counterintelligence units prefer patience over confrontation. They don't chase prey, they starve it. A distant metallic echo rolls through ventilation ducts. Boots, coordinated, measured, hunting patterns. Reed closes his eyes, listening like a man memorizing his execution countdown. He calculates distance by rhythm. 20 meters, 2 turns, 1 reinforced choke point ahead. They're being herded. Corporal Briggs checks his rifle chamber twice, though he knows it's loaded. Ritual replaces logic when fear begins crawling into joints and muscles. His visor display flickers with static interference. Communications remain dead. Solar storms above the atmosphere have fried satellite relays, leaving both armies blind. No backup, no air support, no confirmation the world above even knows they exist anymore. Reed remembers sunlight. The memory feels fictional now, like recalling a dream from another lifetime. They move forward anyway. The corridor narrows into an artery lined with exposed conduit pipes sweating condensation. Every footstep sounds louder than it should. Water drips somewhere in the darkness, ticking like a broken clock, measuring their lifespan in droplets instead of minutes. Liao signals halt. Her scanner shows movement beyond the bulkhead door ahead. Multiple heat signatures, waiting. Alvarez pulls a fiber optic camera from his vest and slides it under the steel threshold. The live feed trembles across his wrist display. 4 armed figures stand in defensive formation, not patrolling, waiting, expecting them to appear from this exact corridor. The prediction isn't coincidence anymore, it's design. Reed's stomach tightens into a knot that years of combat never taught him to untangle. His team isn't just tracked, their decisions are anticipated. They reroute through maintenance tunnels barely wide enough for armored shoulders. The ceiling drops low, forcing operators to crouch walk through dust and hanging cable bundles. The air smells older here, forgotten, abandoned. Reed feels eyes on them anyway. He keeps checking behind him, even though he knows no one could follow without making noise. Briggs nearly slips on frozen condensation. His suppressed curse bounces through the tunnel like a flare, revealing their position. Everyone freezes, listening, waiting for gunfire that never comes. The silence feels deliberate, psychological warfare refined through decades of Cold War survival doctrine. Minutes stretch into hours inside Reed's skull. Time fractures when death becomes theoretical but unavoidable. His mind drifts toward faces he memorized before deployment. His daughter missing her front tooth, his wife pretending not to be afraid when he packed his gear. He forces those memories down. Nostalgia kills faster than bullets in places like this. They reach a junction where 3 tunnels intersect. Liao scans left. Clear. Alvarez checks right. Clear. Briggs covers rear security, breathing slow through clenched teeth. Reed signals forward movement. Gunfire erupts behind them. Suppressed rounds hammer Briggs' armor plate, driving him face first into the concrete floor. The impact echoes like thunder trapped inside a coffin. Reed spins, dragging Briggs by his vest, while Alvarez throws a flash charge down the tunnel. Light detonates like artificial lightning. Screams follow, Russian voices barking tactical commands through ringing ears. They run. The tunnel spills into a laboratory wing abandoned mid-evacuation. Broken glass crunches beneath boots. Scientific equipment lies scattered like skeletons of unfinished experiments. The smell here is worse. Burned plastic mixed with something organic, something human. Reed doesn't look at the dark stain smeared across overturned gurneys. Liao finds a schematic terminal still powered by backup generators. She connects her decryptor module, fingers moving faster than thought. The digital blueprint unfolds across her visor. Escape routes highlight in blinking red overlays. Every exit route shows sealed bulkheads activated exactly 12 minutes after their infiltration began. They knew a timeline, she whispers. Reed feels something fracture inside his chest. Not fear, recognition. This mission wasn't compromised during execution. It was compromised during planning. Footsteps approach again, slower now, controlled confidence. The enemy isn't chasing anymore. They're guiding the endgame. They barricade inside a storage chamber stacked with classified archive crates. Reed kneels beside Briggs, applying coagulant foam to a bullet fracture that narrowly missed the spine. Briggs laughs weakly through clenched teeth, muttering something about buying drinks if they survive. Reed nods, even though they both know survival isn't part of the operational equation anymore. Alvarez monitors corridor motion through a cracked door gap. Shadows glide across fluorescent spill light. Russian tactical teams establishing containment positions, waiting them out. Oxygen recycling units hum louder, reminding Reed that air supply inside the bunker cycles through centralized filtration systems that can be shut down remotely. Slow suffocation, another invisible weapon. Reed studies each face inside the chamber. Years of training taught him to read micro-expressions during interrogation drills. Liao avoids eye contact. Alvarez checks his weapon obsessively. Briggs drifts in and out of shock. And then there's Daniels. Staff Sergeant Evan Daniels stands near the door, posture rigid, breathing calm. Too calm. Reed's instincts begin screaming behind professional discipline. Daniels volunteered for this mission late. Transfer orders approved at unusual speed. Background checks came back spotless. Too spotless. Reed grips his compass again, watching the needle spin without direction. His hand trembles, not from fear, from realization forming like frost across his thoughts. The lights suddenly cut out. Emergency crimson strobes ignite, bathing the chamber in pulsing blood-colored light. Alarm sirens remain silent. That's worse. It means this isn't an automated response. Someone is watching through cameras. Someone is choosing psychological pressure over brute force. Daniels slowly turns toward Reed. His expression holds regret. Not guilt, not panic. Regret worn like a uniform he never wanted but accepted anyway. They're offering safe passage, whispers. Weapons rise instantly, 5 rifles aiming at one heartbeat. Reed's pulse thunders so loud he barely hears his own voice asking how Daniels knows about an offer transmitted through dead radios. Daniels exhales slowly. The confession arrives like snowfall, burying everything beneath quiet inevitability. He explains sleeper protocols, long-term infiltration, dual loyalty engineered through psychological conditioning and ideological blackmail. He was activated weeks ago. His purpose was never to steal files. His purpose
purpose was to deliver them here. The entire mission was bait.
Russian intelligence needed confirmation the United States knew about the neuroweapon program. By allowing Americans to steal incomplete research, they could track strategic response patterns. Every step Reed's team took inside the facility validated enemy surveillance models. They were never infiltrators. They were test subjects. Briggs curses through broken laughter. Alvarez lowers his rifle slightly, disbelief cracking through discipline. Liao stares at Daniels like she's memorizing the face of betrayal itself. Reed feels time collapsing inward. Every decision he made, every route chosen, every casualty absorbed. All predicted, all permitted. Outside the chamber, footsteps stop, silence spreads again. Waiting for Reed's decision, Daniels steps forward, removing his helmet slowly, exposing frostbitten skin and exhausted eyes. He says they can still leave. Russian command authorized survival for the remaining operators if Reed surrenders the drive and confirms American strategic interest in the program. No interrogation, no imprisonment, just disappearances into classified prisoner exchanges that officially never happen. Reed studies Daniel's face, searching for deception and finding only tragedy. Sleeper agents don't consider themselves traitors. They consider themselves instruments, forged by governments that measure loyalty in expendable lives. Reed remembers his daughter again. He remembers sunlight. He remembers the oath he swore, not to a flag, but to people who would never know his name. His hand tightens around the compass until the glass cracks. He looks at Alvarez, at Liao, at Briggs bleeding quietly on the floor. He knows surrender means survival. He also knows survival guarantees escalation. Intelligence wars don't end with mercy. They multiply through exploitation. He reaches into his chest rig. Daniel's eyes widen slightly. He whispers Reed's name like a warning carried too late. Reed pulls the hardened drive from its casing and places it gently onto the concrete floor. For a brief second, silence feels like relief, like gravity has paused. Then Reed raises his boot and crushes the drive beneath reinforced armor plating. The crack echoes louder than gunfire. Alarms finally scream through the bunker as containment protocols shift from negotiation to extermination. Russian forces surge toward the chamber. Reed signals evacuation through the maintenance shaft mapped earlier by Liao. They move as one fractured organism, dragging Briggs, sprinting through crimson corridors as gunfire erupts behind them like thunder chasing lightning. The maintenance shaft climbs vertically toward an emergency escape hatch never meant for human evacuation. Steel ladders rattle beneath armored weight. Reed climbs last, covering below as muzzle flashes illuminate rising smoke and dust clouds swallowing the tunnel entrance. Bullets ricochet around him, screaming past inches from exposed joints in his armor. He climbs anyway. Every rung feels like ascending through gravity itself. Briggs groans above him. Liao shouts coordinates. Alvarez throws fragmentation charges downward, collapsing ladder segments and buying seconds paid for in explosive fire. They reach the hatch. It opens into blinding white light. Siberian snowstorms roar across endless tundra, winds howling like the planet itself, trying to erase their footprints. They emerge one by one into frozen oblivion, collapsing on ice that feels warmer than the bunker below. Behind them, the black site remains hidden beneath snow and secrecy, swallowing evidence of everything that just happened. Helicopter rotors echo faintly across the horizon. Unknown allegiance, unknown rescue, unknown fate. Reed stares across the white wasteland, realizing survival doesn't feel like victory. It feels like postponement. Intelligence wars never end. They evolve. And somewhere, another mission is already being planned using data harvested from this one. Because the most dangerous weapon in modern warfare
isn't nuclear firepower or experimental technology. It's knowing exactly how your enemy thinks before they even realize they've made a decision.